Child, I ain't want to gossip, but the streets are saying Diddy did it. I mean, that's at least what they wondering. And who am I to shut the people up? Let's listen to them.
Let's talk about it.
Shawty, come and swing my way. We ain't gotta waste no time now, baby. Put that all in my face. I just wanna bump and grind on you, on you, Put you on my face, so shawty, come and swing my way.
I want people to have fun. Let's kick back. Let's get into a little tea. Let's not get too crazy, but let's enjoy the sip.
But let's get to the chi-chi, the kiki, the internet bull.
If you want to see extended videos, exclusive content, including story times and more, subscribe to my Patreon. If you want to stay engaged and keep up with my commentary, follow me on Twitter. And if you would like to book a personal reading, you can go to my website, thealigningsouls.com, to schedule you a personal reading today.
What's going on, y'all? It's Santana, aka Chi, and we are back for another Let's Talk About It. Okay, let's talk about it, y'all. Pull up. Let's talk about it, girl. Now listen, Kimora, Miss Kimora Lee Simmons is over there going through a lot, y'all, and it's nothing to laugh about at all. It's nothing to laugh about at all. Miss Kimora is over there going through a lot, y'all. Okay, her kitchen is burning down. Child, she damn near about to burn down the house, burn down the whole community. Listen. When she started speaking up a couple of months ago, I thought then that she was lighting a match and she was ready to burn everything down. I didn't know that meant her own damn house. Kimora. But the streets is saying, listen, they don't believe that it was an accident, a quote unquote accident. I wink accident. You know, the streets is saying that they think that somebody else might have did it. They saying that it might be some foul play at play. And you know what? Who am I? Like I said, who am I to argue with the streets? Who am I to argue when a motherfucker is talking? So before we go ahead and get into the tea, y'all already know, like the video.
Nothing for free. I cuss a lot. Bitch, I'm a queen. Not like the thoughts. If you wanna be together, you gotta spend that cheddar. You wanna be forever, you gotta spend that cheddar. Gotta send a check on me. Gotta send the rest on me. Hey, gotta move successfully. If you want the best of me. Hey, gotta send a check on me. Gotta send the rest on me. Hey, gotta move successfully. If you want the best of me. Hey.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into the article. So, Essence is reporting Kimora Lee Simmons reveals that her house caught on fire. The former model and entrepreneur is thankful for the workers who came to her family's aid and got the fire under control. Not the workers. Not the workers. Okay, listen. Kimora said, thank you for the help. Thank you for the help. I want to thank the help for the help. Okay, I would like to take this moment to thank the help for the help. Thank you. I know that's right. Come on, stay classy and gracious. And rich, okay? Don't forget rich. Now, one of the most devastating things that can happen to anyone is a house fire, and that was recently a reality for Kimora Lee Simmons. The model shared news of it with her social media followers. My house caught fire, she told fans on Saturday, December 2nd. The kids and I are all fine. The 48-year-old added, I cannot express enough my deepest gratitude to the numerous battalions, ladders, and units that attended to us for many hours today, and quite possibly saved our lives. Thank you. Now, according to the U.S. Fire Administration, there were an estimated 353,500 fires in residential buildings in 2021. Those fires resulted in about 3,000 deaths, 11.5 injuries. Cooking also happens to be the leading cause of house fires in the U.S. and a catalyst for almost half of all fires. Heating is the second leading cause, while electrical systems, lighting equipment is the third leading. Okay. Kimora has had an eventful year beyond her recent house fire. The baby fat owner also had a public blowout with the father of her daughter's ex-husband, Russell Simmons. Their family issues unfolded on Juneteenth when the model told the fans that the controversial businessman stopped financially supporting their two daughters and had a less than pleasant relationship with them all. Aoki, the eldest of the daughters, also came online to share how her father has been lashing out at her and Ming. Post blowout, the mom of five spoke to Essence during the Essence Festival and provided an update on how her and the girls were doing. I'm always okay. You listen, y'all know I'm a tough chick, she told reporters. We've been through a difficult time, and I like for people to say, I love Aoki. We love me. Now, while the fire is another difficult time, we are glad her family is doing okay. Yeah, okay. Cut the fucking pleasantries. Cut the pleasantries. Cut all that. Diddy, did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it, Diddy? Did you? That's what the people want to know. Because all of these allegations that's coming out the woodwork and this, that, and the third, and y'all know, because I had did a whole video on it yesterday, right? I had did a whole video on it yesterday talking about it. This video right here that we're going to put up on screen in just a second. I had did a whole video on it, of Diddy, pledging his allegiance and how he didn't do it and this, that, and the third. He had wrote a whole statement. And I said, y'all leave Diddy alone. Leave Diddy alone. Okay. But Diddy, the people want to know, did you do it? Did you do it? Did you have something to do with it? Or did Russell Simmons have something to do with it? I mean, we can't help but to think when it's so many different stories out there about what y'all allegedly have done. We don't know what you are allegedly capable of not doing at this point. It's like we confused. Not saying that you don't went up in there and struck a match, but like, girl, did you have a friend go up in there? We don't know. We don't know. We just trying to ask the questions. Just ask the appropriate questions. That's all we doing. Listen, that is all that we are trying to do, Mr. Combs. Okay? That's all that we trying to do. Now, like I mentioned, Kimora has been going through quite the rough year. Okay. Quite the rough year. Now, while the streets is saying and contemplating and wondering if Diddy did it, I say don't just look at Diddy. Also look at Russell. Listen, I keep trying to tell y'all, Hollywood is Holly weird. These people have enough money to pay people payroll, but they also have enough money to make things happen and disappear and start fires. Okay, if need be. Like, I don't trust not Nan, mother effer. I don't trust not Nan. Listen, when you start speaking up and start speaking out, people don't like that. Okay, because when you speaking is power, okay? And when you have power, that means all attention and all eyes are on you. And when you're getting exposed, it's like you're under a microscope and you have everybody in the world tuning in. And people don't like that. People do not like that. So I'm not alleging anything, but what I will say is that when you speak out, there are consequences to things that happen. You know what I mean? And even if it's not somebody that's physically here resting on this earth that may have done something, at the same time, I still feel like this is a learning lesson for Kimora, because at the end of the day, things happen for a reason. You always end up realizing what that reason is later, but things happen for a reason. It could be, you coming into the driveway. Every time you come into the driveway, your tires end up messed up, or there's just this fire alarm that keeps on ringing no matter how many times you change the battery, or every time you turn around, there's a armed robbery happening at your house, or glass is getting broken into, or stray cats lying around your house. Like, whatever it is, it could be the universe, like, literally saying to Kimora, like, listen, you need to leave. You need to change residences. Like, it's the universe's way of saying, hey, you need to leave this residence for whatever reason. Maybe your house is bugged, maybe there's cameras and footage here that you don't even know about. Maybe somebody allegedly bugged your house. It's not that the people around you are above doing that. I mean, this is Holly weird. You know what I mean? Maybe, the wrong people have access to your house and access to your location, whatever it is. Hell, it could even be something as simple but chaotic as, your house being haunted. Whatever the reason, the universe could be trying to warn you. So when I hear house fire and you say that you've never gone through anything like that before, like, now they try to make it look and seem like, oh, a house fire is so common. Girl, I am 30 years old. I ain't never in my mother effing life got into a house fire. I know how to work a damn stove. There's even been times where I done fell asleep. I done burnt shit up. Okay, I be cooking a whole meal and then go to the gym and then go to work and come home and the shit still cook. Like, girl. Like, let's be for real. Like, if you having house fires in your kitchen based off of what's cooking on the stove or cooking in the oven, bitch, you just can't cook. You literally just can't cook. Maybe you got your shit up on 600. Okay, maybe you got your food turned up way too high. Okay, maybe the flame is way too high. You know, maybe you pouring water on a flame. It got to be something extra to it because it's really not that hard to cook. Now it's hard for your food to taste good because not everybody can cook. Okay, not everybody is me, Miss Retro Recipes, but it's not that hard to like do a little 1-2, do a little ramen noodle. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not going to sit and act like it's just that common to where, ooh, you turn on a gas stove, kaboom goes your house. No, no, no. It's giving bugged. It's giving the universe is trying to tell her to get the F up out of there. It's giving, girl, you talking too much and somebody don't like that. It's giving, you know, I don't know. I ain't saying no names. I don't know if it's Diddy. I don't know if it's Diddy. I'm not gonna say that it's Diddy because Diddy told us to leave him alone. That he's a billionaire and that he's just trying to protect him, himself, his kids, and Quincy. So listen, I'm not here to blame Diddy. I'm just saying, while y'all blaming Diddy, y'all might want to look at Russell too, because that was who she was married to, and they both billionaires. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. What y'all thought about all this? What y'all thought about all of this? Definitely let me know that in the comment box below. Because I mean, I could take it over to TikTok, and we could really do a deep dive on it.
I need y'all to stop getting on these apps and acting so fucking obtuse.
Okay, because there are. Listen, it could have just been a house fire. It really could have just been a house fire, or or there could be more at play.
I was a very young, probably too young bride. So I had these kids very early.
Sean Diddy Combs allegedly threatened to hit Kimora Lee Simmons, who was pregnant at the time.
They told me they couldn't go after Puff, but they could go after Russell Simmons. Those people knew that Russell Simmons was on the chopping block and something was going on.
Kimora Lee Simmons has broken her silence on growing allegations about Diddy being involved in trafficking alongside other high-profile industry men, and she allegedly believes her ex-husband, Russell Simmons, is one of them. In 2017, multiple women accused Russell of SA, with the youngest alleged victim being just 17. And then, months later, Russell moved to Indonesia, a country that doesn't have any extradition treaty with the US. Now, as you all know by now, Diddy's ex, Cassie, accused Diddy of trafficking, SA, and DV in a bombshell lawsuit, which he then settled in record time, probably to avoid the discovery phase in trial. So after Cassie's story blew up, a lot of people pointed out that it sounded very similar to what Kimora Lee went through with Russell Simmons. See, Russell was 35 when he met Kimora, who was 15 or 16, while Diddy was 37 when he allegedly started grooming 19-year-old Cassie. Kimora also accused Russell earlier this year of mistreating her and their two daughters, and one of the daughters provided receipts to show Russell as a dangerous and violent man. And then when you add all this to the fact that Kimora was a close friend of Diddy's late girlfriend, Kim Porter, it really makes you wonder how deep this rabbit hole goes. So now that Kimora is speaking out on Cassie's lawsuit, will this get the ball rolling to expose all these alleged traffickers in the music industry? And could this also lead to Kim Porter's case being reopened? Let's break it down.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Russell. We love you.
He may have settled the lawsuit with Cassie, but this is definitely not the end, because Cassie opened a can of worms, and by making her story public, she encouraged other people to speak out against Diddy's alleged crimes. One of these people is Kimora Lee, who just broke her silence on Cassie's lawsuit and hinted that Diddy is finally getting the karma he deserves. One day after Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy, alleging years of DV, SA, and trafficking, Kimora shared a story with the message, "As you sow, so shall you reap." Meanwhile, an old interview with Kimora resurfaced where she spoke about how Diddy once threatened to kill her while she was pregnant. Back in 2004, Kimora talked about this incident with the New York Magazine, and interestingly, she mentioned her then-husband, Russell Simmons, suggesting that Diddy copied Russell in everything. The article states, there was a nasty cloudburst when Kimora said something to Combs, and he threatened to hit her. And then Kimora added, and I was pregnant. The moron. The article goes on to say that Diddy got down on his knees in public to apologize, and Kimora said, I appreciate knowing that everything he does is emulating my husband. Now, Diddy and Russell were very close for years, and Russell was a regular at Diddy's infamous parties. Diddy and Russell also reportedly used to vacation together back when Kim Porter was still alive. But what's really disturbing are the similarities between Russell's relationship with Kimora and Diddy with Cassie. Kimora was just 15 or 16 when she met 35-year-old Russell, and they started dating shortly after. Russell later claimed that they didn't begin dating until Kimora turned 18, and back in 2020, he wrote this on Instagram. She was legal at 17, but she turned 18 that May. Her mother and her manager, Bethan Hardison, approved, supported, and rushed us. We really didn't need a push. But as many fans pointed out, nothing Russell says makes him look innocent, because a 35-year-old man dating an 18-year-old girl may be legal, but it's still predatory. Anyway, Russell and Kimora got married in 1998, and they share 2 daughters, Ming Lee and Aoki Lee. However, Kimora and Russell's marriage was rocky from the start due to Russell's controlling behavior and anger outbursts. In 2008, Kimora filed for divorce, but that's when the real nightmare started, and Russell allegedly began harassing and threatening her and their daughters. After she initially tried to keep this away from the public to protect her daughters, Kimora reached a boiling point earlier this year and went on Instagram Live to expose Russell for mistreating them for years.
He's even said things to them like, why did you go to college? You shouldn't have gone to college. You wasted that money. You could have saved it, while I'm up here trying to hustle the kids over the finish line. But I think it comes a time when you guys have to ask yourself, why are these women, young women, not supportive or not really trying to hear that? Or what have they gone through? What have they seen that they, that has turned them off, or that has put a bad taste in their mouth? We've seen a lot lately over the years.
Kimora, have you seen so much that maybe it's now it's time to shut you up? Could it be? Could it be? Maybe you've seen so much that now somebody's trying to make you blind. I don't know. I'm just throwing out what's out there. Let's keep going.
Kimora revealed that despite having zero involvement in their daughters' lives, Russell continued to post photos of the girls on social media, trying to convince the public he's a good dad.
This person has not been to any events, did not come to graduation, no, he wasn't particularly wanted, but no one stopped you, hasn't sent a flower or a gift or a kind word.
By the way, doesn't this remind you of the way Diddy always talks about how much he loves Kim Porter? Whenever someone goes out of their way to shove love and positivity in everyone's face, 9 times out of 10, they're covering up something. But it gets worse. Kimora later shared a series of stories explaining why she decided to expose Russell, and she claimed that he threatened to unalive her kids. One of Kimora's daughters, Aoki, later confirmed all this and claimed she had evidence of Russell harassing them.
And if he says one thing and disagrees with me, I will post it all, because he does it. I have videos of him saying awful things that no one should have to hear about anyone they know, much less their mother. He has called me names. He has called us all house of all you. He has called us terrible things. All because I wouldn't take his side.
Now, another interesting thing Kimora mentioned in her live is that Russell was broke and she supported him for years.
I have records and evidence of this where he's told the kids in writing, we have it, text messages, I'm broke, I this, I that, I can't, go get it from your mom. Now, meanwhile, I have been financially carrying this person probably for the last at least 10 years, myself and my ex-husband. Again, this is all proven with receipts. So if whatever, somebody doesn't like what I'm saying, we could talk about it. We can come, we can open up our receipts. I love it. I love receipts.
And this could explain why Russell fled to Bali after multiple women came forward in 2017 accusing him of SA.
Whoa.
That's for the last at least 10 years, myself and my ex-husband. Again, this is all proven with receipts. So if whatever, somebody doesn't like what I'm saying, we could talk about it. We can come, we can open up our receipts. I love it. I love receipts.
And this could explain
doesn't like what I'm saying, we could talk about it. We can come, we can open up our receipts. I love it. I love receipts.
And this could explain.
Is it possible that somebody was trying to burn all those receipts to the ground? If we know that Kimora is capable of having all of these receipts, best way to get a receipts is to burn the evidence, get rid of the evidence. Just food for thought.
Why Russell fled to Bali after multiple women came forward in 2017 accusing him of SA. He knew he didn't have the money or connections to fight this in court. Just months after SA allegations surfaced, Russell sold his properties in the US, moved to Bali, and reinvented himself as a yoga teacher. And if you look at his Instagram, he now constantly shares posts about love and spirituality. Again, doesn't this remind you of someone?
Love, I changed my name to Sean Love Combs. I'm serious about love, y'all. I'm all in on love. I decided I'm just going to just be love all the way.
Diddy, however, has different kinds of money, and sadly, we've seen time and time again how these ultra-rich and powerful people get away with doing the worst types of crimes. By the way, this is also something that Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, mentioned a few years ago, when he said that he tried to pitch a book about Diddy, Russell, and other shady industry men, and he was told they could go after Russell, but not Diddy. Oh, and Gene also mentioned something about Diddy and Jay-Z covering up for Russell.
People was disgusted on how Jay-Z came and Puff is coming out for Russell Simmons. They told me they couldn't go after Puff, but they could go after Russell Simmons. Those people knew that Russell Simmons was on the chopping block and something was going on.
Fans are now urging Kimora to reveal everything she knows about Diddy and Russell, and they're speculating these trafficking allegations go all the way to the top in Hollywood. One fan said, the way it was described in the lawsuit about Diddy filming Cassie on multiple devices, adjusting the candles, and wearing masks while she was essayed, sounds like some called ritual-ish. I think he was filming to show other rich elites. And another person added, something else will come out about Diddy by March, April 2024. Don't be surprised if Kimora Lee Simmons will speak on something she saw. But let us know if you think Diddy and Russell were covering up for each other. And do you think Kimora knows more about...
I definitely think Kimora knows a lot more. I definitely think there's a lot more to the story. Mind y'all, I still have not done my video with everything I have to say on everything that's going on with Diddy. I will say this. There is a lot going on, and being that we are entering the Pluto and Aquarius, age of Aquarius age, I just want to say pay attention to everything, because the veils of illusion are coming down. The veils of illusion are coming down, and Pluto and Capricorn is all about, like, let's go along to get along. Let's do what's working. Let's do what's been working. Where Pluto and Aquarius is like, no, we can't keep doing that because it's not right. You know what I mean? And we're seeing the age of Aquarius show up in many different ways, from things getting exposed to even just, realizing what's not working in your everyday life that you need change with, that you are ready to have some sort of plot twists and just, just something different with, right? And so that's going to affect us globally on the way that we think, because, and I talked about this in other videos that I did earlier, a lot of shit is deeper than just what's on the surface. Like, there's logic and then there's intuition. And Capricorn energy is all about logic. It's like the king of logic. It's all about, like, okay, doing things in a practical way, doing things that make sense. Whereas intuition is all about what feels right. Okay. And all about, where you're guided to spiritually, and just, it's more of your psyche senses, your Neptune energy, right? And I'm just going to say that a lot is going to come out about people that we may have never expected to come out. A lot of shocking things may come out. A lot of shocking events may happen. And I'm not here to say that anything happened per se, because I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I will say is that too many a time do we have these stories and we think that they're random, isolated events, until later on we realize that it was all part of a darker, much sinister, evil plan. And where there's one, there's many. And do not think that Diddy and Russell are the only ones. There's a group of people, once you get to a certain status and you reach a certain wealth and whatnot, there are a lot of higher up people, and even the higher up people have people higher than them that they have to answer to. And sometimes, one must fall on the sword for the good of the others. One must come forward and be the sacrificial lamb, right? And while that's going on, if we've learned nothing from Scandal, let's throw a whole bunch of things at, or even How to Get Away with Murder. If we've learned nothing from Shonda Rhimes shows, let's throw a whole bunch of shit at the wall, see what sticks. But the best way to clean up a crime scene is to make it as chaotic as possible, so you don't really know what's going on, right? So while you have the whole sacrificial of the lamb going on here, let's, have all of these seemingly isolated events going on over here where we are cleaning up evidence while the lamb is being sacrificed over here, right? And we're going to make it seem totally isolated. We're going to make it seem like it's totally unrelated. And then later on, it comes out that, it actually was related. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I don't care who comes out to speak on what. I don't care what official comes out, what scientist comes out, because that's another way in which logic always wins, because people assume that because somebody has a degree or somebody is supposed to be credible, that they're telling the truth. Again, if Saturn being in Aquarius has taught us nothing, the last 4 years, we didn't know what the hell we were living through. In regards to C19 and how we were going to live or how it was affecting us. And there was a different, bit of research coming out every other week. And then at the end of it all, going into 2024, we realized that really and truly, it all did start in a damn warehouse in China, like Trump said. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if the last 4 years have taught you nothing, it's to believe nothing and question all. So I don't care. And I'm not just speaking on this Kimora fire situation. I'm speaking on anything that comes out. If you have a bit of a hair that raises on your neck, if there's any bit of skepticism, if you just have any type of question, go with that. And I don't care what city official, what doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. How many times do we have to hear that money is the root of all evil? People change and people do whatever for the right price. I don't care. President Obama came out to speak about something that I know in my gut doesn't feel right. Everybody has a price. It's just a matter of how much. So I'll say that. I'll say that. Do I want to dive a little bit deeper with this? Because I was actually I didn't even mean to dive this deep, but do I want to dive a little bit deeper? Is that what I want to do? Actually, yeah, let's go ahead. It's only 2 videos. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Let's dive a little bit deeper.
So it looks like Kimora Lee Simmons is joining the very long list of women coming out to expose Diddy for being the devil that he is. And it looks like Kimora is determined to make Diddy pay for his actions. Yeah, Diddy is in a sticky mess and he only has himself to blame. Honestly, it's starting to get super clear that Diddy has been nothing short of a menace for a long, long time. And there is nobody happier to see him go down than Kimora Lee Simmons. Now, at first, we thought it was because she might eventually get some closure and justice for her late best friend, Kim Porter, who passed away a couple of years ago. Kim passed away in 2018, allegedly from pneumonia, but people have always suspected from the very start that Diddy had something to do with her passing, and he even covered it up. You see, Kim was allegedly writing a tell-all book at the time she died, and of course, Diddy was going to be heavily featured in the tell-all book. But knowing the things we know now about him, well, it's not exactly surprising that he wouldn't want the book to come out. And there are reports that he might have allegedly taken Kim out to protect his secrets, and Jaguar Wright even hinted at this.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And
now, Kimora Lee and Kim Porter were very good friends when Kim was alive. And if Diddy treated Kim as bad as we believe he did, Kimora would have seen it and know all about it. Like, even Diddy's bodyguard saw this, and he spoke about how Diddy used to put paws on Kim and treat her so badly that she finally got frustrated one day and eventually stood up for herself and started fighting back at him.
One night, when they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrist up and hit an artery. And when she did that, he had to rush over to St. Luke's Hospital.
I'm pretty sure Kimora Lee feels strongly on Kim's behalf, but it goes way beyond that because it turns out that she was also one of Diddy's victims as well. It turns out that Diddy also tried putting hands on Kimora, and like that's not bad enough, it happened when Kimora was pregnant. According to news reports, there was a nasty cloudburst when Kimora said something to Combs and he threatened to hit her. Kimora confirmed that this really happened, saying, And I was pregnant. The moron. So this just goes further to explain why Kimora felt so strongly about Cassie exposing Diddy. It wasn't just about her wanting justice for her late friend, but she could also relate to the things that Cassie went through. I mean, Cassie's lawsuit went into great detail about how Diddy used to put his hands on her until she started to throw up. For example, she said Mr. Combs Miss Ventura pushing her into a corner of the vehicle and stopping her on her face. When the car arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, Miss Ventura attempted to run away, but Mr. Combs followed her and proceeded to again kick her in the face. Miss Ventura was bleeding profusely and was ushered into Mr. Combs' home, where she began to throw up from the violent incident. A couple of hours after the lawsuit became public, Kimora Lee responded on her Instagram story and posted, "As you sow, so shall you reap." She wrote that she was starting a girl gang consisting of women who are aggressive in their support of other women, and asked everyone if they wanted to volunteer. And after news of the settlement between Diddy and Cassie broke, Kimora posted a throwback photo of Kim Porter with another heart emoji. And even though Cassie has now dropped the lawsuit, Kimora is not all too bothered because she knows it's not going to be too long until someone else comes forward and that Diddy is eventually going to face some consequences. Well, fans believe that we are seeing the start of Diddy's downfall, and they said Diddy is his own downfall. Diddy caused all of this. Now we will find out about what really happened to Kim Porter and others. Diddy has been a legit real-life menace to society for a very long time. Us that watched his actions since the very early 90s have been waiting for karma to spin the block on him. Hopefully she's pulling up in his driveway now. And Kim Porter's case needs to be reopened expeditiously. This is crazy, but you guys let me know what you think about this messy drama. And if you like this video,
And child, that's where we're going to end this. I'm going to say this. Diddy's not the only one. Diddy's just the only one going down right now. Diddy's not the only one. He's just the only one going down right now. And best believe, Diddy is more so the first one of many that will go down, but he's the sacrificial lamb. Now, when it comes to Kimora's situation with the fire, I don't believe it was an accident. I don't. Considering all the evil that goes on in Hollywood, and a lot of what we see on TV is reality. I know there's a lot that we try and push off and act like it's fake, that it's not real. Oh, that sounds so fantastical. And why would, girl, throw the logic out the fucking window. Logic don't exist no more. Not in the age of Aquarius, okay? Use it when it's necessary. But other than that, throw that shit out the fucking window. Miss me with the, well, why would this person? That don't even make sense. Okay, but the scientist said, okay, but the fireman, fuck all of that. People lie, bitch. People lie. People do some strange things for a piece of change. Like, everybody has a price. So I don't give a fuck what this person, with that report, with the, I don't care. I don't care. Because people will start caring when it's too late. I mean, we just gonna see how this situation play out. Like I said, Diddy and Russell is many, many more, and it goes way, way darker and way deeper than y'all would ever even know or think. Hollywood is Holly weird, and listen, I'll put it this way: just like on Power, crimes and whatnot will happen, and then they'll have to tie up the loose ends, and then an innocent bystander will have to, get attacked or end up dying off, getting killed off, whatever. It's kind of the same thing. It's like certain people are in the hot seat, and sometimes it's a matter of, because this whole downfall with Diddy started really because Cassie wasn't suing Diddy. She was suing the companies, okay? Her law team advised her right. She sued the companies, right? And so there's people that's in charge of Diddy's money and that's above him, even higher than him, that again, pushed them into a spot because it's like, we're not all going down. You're gonna have to be the one. So it's almost like he's being silenced. And so that's another part of why him speaking up was such a big deal. Now, Russell is off the hook for right now, but his day will come too. His day will come too. But do understand that they are just, if anything, the faces of the mascots of what's really going on I've been saying in the last couple of videos that I've done is that a lot of people think that the GOV and that, you know, the prez and, you know, certain people rule this country and this world. And no, there are higher ups, there are elites that truly run this world. And the GOV and the media and these artists and these entertainers, they are simply the puppets. They are simply the smoke and mirrors. They are the show within a show to what's really going on. And I'll leave it at that. Let me know down in the comment box below, you know, what y'all thought about all of this. Yeah, what do you think about the fire? What do you think about Kimora? What do you think about the history between her, Russell, Diddy? Like, let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. You know, this time I give a fuck, okay? And make sure that you stream my music as if you give a fuck, okay? I love each and every one of y'all. Definitely make sure that you head over to thealanasflows.com, book your personal reading, and patreon.com for exclusive extended content where we can actually like super dive deep and like get deeper than this and go, you know, way more into depth. All right. I love each and every one of y'all. Nation Audio, allegedly. Bye.
I do what I want, cause who gon' touch me? I get to the green cause I'm all about money. I'm looking